Moving on to our last topic of the show, we're gonna get into the Ballerina, a John Wick spinoff. I went with my wife to watch it this Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't remember. I think it was Tuesday. We went and watched it. Paid like $5.50 for a ticket, dog. That wasn't bad at all.
What?
And I'll tell you like this: if you like the John Wick universe,
Mhm.
you will like this movie. This
Okay.
movie is it's beautifully shot. It's got a lot of just nice camera angles in these fights. The action is phenomenal. It's over the top. The one thing I did like, and I've heard a lot of people say it, and I did pay attention to it, and I was very impressed by the fact that Ana de Armas was not in there like kicking everybody's ass and just being dominant. It was more realistic. Like she took her ass whoopings through the whole movie. It wasn't like she was just like this superhuman. I'm over here just dominating all these fights. Like it looked like some real life stuff, right? Like you're gonna catch a fade because you're smaller.
Oh, yeah.
You're not John Wick. And even
Yeah.
John Wick,
John Wick was
he
getting
takes
his ass beat. Yeah,
he
in all
takes
his
his
movies.
shots, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't wanna see her just dominate, and it was nice to see that. Like I said, the action was really nice. My favorite scenes came when they got the flamethrowers. Once you see the flamethrowers in this movie, you're gonna be like, just buckle in because that whole sequence is just next level, dog.
Really?
Like,
Okay.
I'm like, "Oh, that's so clean," and then you just got, like, top-down camera angles, and it reminded me of I think it was for where they're in the house at the end, but it's a top-down shot, and you're
Uh-huh.
kinda see him go through the house,
Yeah.
from the top down. So,
Yeah.
it was kinda shot like that. The story is good. I don't wanna give too much away. But you do see John at the beginning. He's not very prominent in the movie until the very end. He does play a larger part in this movie, but for the most
Oh.
part, they show him at the beginning. If you remember when he went to
Is
the
that the part
ballet
that they
house.
show I was about to say, is that the part that they show in the trailer? Because I know that in the trailer, it shows, like, a tidbit piece of him, where he's talking to her about something. I can't remember what exactly right now because I'm trying to remember the trailer in my head, but he's talking to her about something, and then, she responds I can't even remember what the hell they were talking about, but it looks like they were, like, in a old, decrepit building that's almost torn down and whatnot. That's what it looks like.
So
Don't give away,
the
don't spoil nothing.
Yeah, no,
I'm
no,
just
no. So
curious.
I'm gonna tell you like this. The first time you see him is you remember in John Wick 2, I believe it was, when he goes to the ballet house and he gives her the rosary and they
Yeah.
brand him. So that's where this movie picks up. That's where she meets him. He's
Oh,
there and he's talking to the lady
yeah.
and you see the ballerinas upstairs, right? And you just hear Baba Yaga, Baba Yaga. So they're not saying his name out
Oh,
loud, but you
okay,
can hear that they're talking about him, right? So they
okay,
know he's there and they know who he is. And so
okay.
she sees him and she sees where he's punching his ticket and they brand him and all that. And they're just basically like, here's your passage to the boat so you can
Yeah,
escape. So she sees him on the way out and she kind of has a conversation with him about how she wants to be like him. And he's like, you still have an opportunity to get out. Like, you don't have to go down this path. And she's like,
yeah.
I want this. And he's like, I can already tell you're committed to it. You're in it.
Mhm.
So you see that. So I was like, cool. That's how you kind of get their first interaction and you get the introduction of John to this universe. But
Okay.
then you don't see him again until
The
the end
end
of
end?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
because I did hear I haven't seen it yet, obviously. I know that you went to go watch it with your wife. I haven't seen it yet, but what I've heard about it so far is that it does take place somewhere in the middle between 2 and 3 is where it takes place. So, that's kind of where I was thinking of where it was taking place at. To hear you explain it now to where it's like at the beginning of, I think it was John Wick 2, from my understanding, where he gets branded and all that, to see if the movie, when the movie picks up there, and then towards the end, I'm assuming that's already like probably midway through John Wick 3 or something as to where it ends, maybe. I don't know. But it's gonna be really interesting to see because I love all the John Wick movies. All the John
Mhm.
Wick movies, huge fan of all of them. I didn't like the way that they ended the John Wick series. I think it was a little eh, but um I am
Very
excited to see this movie.
lackluster,
Yeah, because I mean, the way that it ended, it was like,
very, anticlimactic for sure.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure, bro. And it was like, I didn't like the way that they ended that character. I thought that it
yeah,
would he would go out with more of a bang than the way that he
yeah.
did. So it is what it
But
is, but I'm
but
very
yeah,
interested to see
so
this.
you get to see another, continental hotel,
Oh,
which
okay.
you get to see a few in 4. You get to
Yeah.
see one in this movie, a different Continental. Winston comes back. The guy
Ooh.
that plays at the front desk, I can't remember his name, the African American guy that
Yeah.
actually passed away in real life.
Yeah.
He was in this movie, at the
Oh,
front desk.
wow. Okay.
But you kind of see Winston takes her in as a child uh into that life with he introduces her to the ballerina house, the ballet house, and
Mhm.
then she goes looking for him when she gets older to just kind of get some answers on some things, and that's kind of how it starts out. But it was good to see that. We all know it's frowned upon to conduct business
On
on
continental
continental grounds.
grounds, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a big part of this as
I've
well.
heard that phrase many a times.
Yeah. Norman Reedus comes out in this movie. I was
What?
hoping to see Norman Reedus more, but he's not really in it that much.
So he's now
Um,
part of the John Wick universe too?
Daryl Dixon was in he was in the John Wick universe.
Okay.
So like I said, I was hoping to see more from him, but he didn't really get a lot of play. Um, but yeah, man, I think if you like the John Wick universe, this is a movie you can go into, turn your brain off, and just enjoy it.
Okay.
It's shot really well. It just pops off the screen. Like I said, the action is nice. The fight scenes are nice. It does seem a little long towards the end of the movie. I'm just like, some of this could have gotten cut, but overall, I think they did a really good job with this. And if they continue to decide to, hey, let's expand on the ballerina universe, I wouldn't be mad at that. I could see
Really?
this being like a
Okay.
legitimate franchise, kind of like Creed was for Rocky, right? Like John
Yeah.
Wick was Rocky, and then Creed. You got the little spinoff, and you got a couple out of that. Three
Yeah.
of those. You could do that with the ballerina for sure, for
Okay.
sure, for sure.
Well, I know I'm definitely excited to see it. Can't wait to get some watch time on it. I'm gonna try to see if I can see it this weekend, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. From what I hear so far, though, and what I've seen again on the trailer, it looks amazing. And if it's part of that universe again, because I hold John Wick dear as far as the movies go and how well those are written up and how well those played out, except for the ending, of course, I'm always going to throw that in there. Um, I'm very excited to see what I think about that movie once I watch it. So appreciate
Yeah,
the
man.
review, bro.
Yeah, brother, for sure. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. I think out of 5, I'd give it about 4 and a quarter, 4 and a half.
Okay. Okay.
Um, just depending on my mood that day, but 4 and a quarter is pretty solid for me. And like I said, I do look forward to the next entry in this franchise. Hopefully, we'll see though.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we do want to thank everybody for just taking the time to watch this content. We do love and enjoy doing it for you.
Thank you.
And please remember to like, comment, subscribe to the channel.
Mhm.
We've actually gotten some more followers, members over this
Yep.
last week. So thank you for that. It's always exciting to see the numbers grow. We're still shooting for our first 500. So help us get there. Please, please, please share it with your friends, share it with your family. let them know that you enjoy what we do here. And with that being said, we will catch you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.